So, welcome to the Webinar Talk Show. I'm Liz Green.
And I'm Tom Singer, and we are so glad that you've tuned in to watch us. We are kicking off our second season. We did a series of 40 some odd interviews over the course of the early stages of COVID, and we've sort of found our sea legs with the Webinar Talk Show, and we're doing some fun things. So we are here with season 2.
Season 2, can you believe it? And if you think way back when we started this, we kicked off with one of our favorite people in the
Such a great guest.
World, Shauna Suko. And guess what? She's back to
There she is.
Off this season. How could we do it any better? I don't know.
I'm so excited. Well, you could have had Chris Rock, who, kicked off SNL. But
that is true. He won't return my calls, and you will.
Yes, I will. I will always return your calls, Tom.
Well, we're so glad to have you back here. When we first interviewed you a while ago, we sort of talked about sort of where all of this thing was going. But back in March and April, I don't think anybody really grasped that COVID was going to be this long running, that quarantine would be sort of open-ended.
I thought we'd be back by June. That didn't happen.
No, absolutely. And the meetings industry continues to just get really hard hit. And, in addition to being a speaker and one of the leading sales speakers out there for people, you also are the founder of an association in the meetings industry.
I am.
How about that?
Shall I expand upon that?
Yeah, so you know a lot about what's going on in the meetings industry right now. So tell us a little bit about your organization for those who aren't familiar with Spin.
For those who aren't familiar, Spin is the Senior Planners Industry Network, and it is a network that resides entirely on Facebook for planners with 10 years of experience or more. And we also have some supplier partners and some speakers in there. Y'all are both part of the group because you have been wonderful speakers and MCs at past SpinCon events. And so the group it's really grown since quarantine, and it has turned into something that I think I know it's been really helpful to me and hopefully to a lot of other people, just so supportive and full of ideas and comfort and humor, whatever, whenever you need it.
So you say that the group has grown during COVID. Let's explore that a little bit. I wasn't sure if that was what I would have thought would have happened.
Well, we're all kind of bored right now. Not all of us, just 97% of us are bored and doing less. And we're looking for all those things. We're looking for maybe job opportunities. We're looking for support, ideas. We're looking for what to do next. And we also are just kind of looking for an escape with people who get it, with people who are in it, in the same boat, really, which most of us in hospitality, including us as speakers, we're in the same boat right now. And, we need those resources and those like-minded people who kind of get what we're going through.
Well, and you really have, if we're going on in the same boat category of metaphor, you have a foot in two boats, right? You have a foot in the event professional boat, and you have a foot in the professional speaker boat. So can you tell us a little bit about your history in each boat before we go on to talk about planned?
I can't even do standing paddle boat, so I don't know if that metaphor is good for me. But the event planning world, which I was in as a planner for 20 plus years, threw me into speaking. As soon as I launched Spin, it really inspired me to write my first book, which was a tell-all about how planners really think, meant to help suppliers. And that threw me into speaking way against my will. And now I just love it. I miss live speaking. I have my first live gig tomorrow since COVID.
Wow.
I know, I don't remember how to pack a suitcase or, things like that, or wear pants that button. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, so now I'm a full-time speaker. I do still serve as the founder of Spin and the leader of craziness whenever that's called for.
So you have some things coming up in terms of, putting together that crazy. Tell us about the 2 events you have coming up.
Well, first, we have our annual SpinCon, which is It's typically our live event. It was supposed to be in Miami in December, and being from Minnesota, I'm very disappointed that won't be happening live.
Miami in December is an awesome choice.
Seriously. So we're going virtual with that December 1st through 3rd. But we decided that is like 6 years away in COVID years. And so we wanted to do something sooner. So as it happens, next week, we are doing something brand new called MiniCon. And it is just like it sounds. It's a mini version of SpinCon. It's a half a day. It's October 13th. Actually, we're starting kind of a tailgate the night before with a haunted trail that is a showcase of a holiday themed event that you can do for virtual meetings for any planners that want to check it out. Plus, it's supposed to be really fun, hosted by Wildly Different. And then October 13th kicks off at 9:50 because we have to have, in our tradition, 10 minutes of a dance party before we kick off any spin event. Because that's what we're going to do. And then from 10 to 3, we're going to do some learning and some fun having and some commiserating. And we're going to end it up with a virtual escape room, also hosted by Wildly Different, which I've never done. And I want to do a real live escape room, but that's, kind of on hold right now. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
So your SpinCon event has been going on for many years, and it's a big annual event for a lot of people who are senior, experienced people in the planning industry. How sad were you when you realized you weren't going to be able to go to Miami?
Very sad, because that event truly, personally, as a human being, it fills me up for the year. It really fuels me. And also because this is SpinCon 10. The 10th annual, and we had so many cool things planned, but every planner who has had events canceled or rescheduled to be virtual, we decided we can also pivot, drink. We can pivot and do all of those same things in a virtual way and showcase how you don't have to give up fun and you don't have to give up creativity, and you can still not think outside the box, but throw away the dang box, please, and just reinvent. And another reason why we decided to do MiniCon is our industry is really hurting right now. And a lot of people are feeling, I think, a lack of hope as this drags on. And so we're hoping this will be a timeout from hopelessness. And that's why we've decided to open it up to the entire industry, even outside the industry. If your grandma wants to come, or your neighbor, or your barber, let them know about it. It's kind of like our gift to a hurting industry right now.
So MiniCon is going to be free to anybody who wants to attend.
Is that right?
Yeah.
F-R. Yeah.
I bet you could do YMCA without thinking about it.
I could, but it might be backwards because the whole,
So October 13th, it's going to be free. It's open to everyone in the meetings business and their grandmas.
Yes.
So why does somebody want to right now block out the morning? What's going to happen at MiniCon?
Well, we are doing a lot of things differently to showcase to our primary audience, which is meeting planners who are having to shift to virtual. And I'm showing a lot of things that I think I've learned from watching virtual gone poorly. For example, most, and you two as virtual and hybrid MCs, you get this. Most virtual meetings that I've been a part of start so terribly. That's one of the things we're fixing. So we're in addition to the dance party, we're not launching right into, hello, welcome to MiniCon. We'd like to rattle off this list of sponsors now and do housekeeping notes. No, we're starting with 20 minutes of a really fun activity that is just for our industry. It's going to be hilarious. And then we're going to go into sessions with 4 really smart, hilarious, good-looking women, of which 2 of them are on this call right now.
Wait, that means I'm not one of them just by process of elimination.
You're not. You're not. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
we'll see you at SpinCon. But Spin's 4 pillars that we live by are brain, body, being, and business. Because many years ago, through the death of one of our members, we decided we are so much more than the person that goes to work. We're this whole being that needs more than just credit hours toward our recertification. We need support in all different areas of our lives because it is a stressful business. Even when we're not working right now, it's stressful. And so we've got a speaker for each of those pillars.
Nice.
So I'm kicking it off after the fun time and the secret fun activity. I'm kicking it off for a 40-minute session. We're also doing shorter sessions because I think that's important right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be talking about how to market yourself, your sponsorships, your meetings, and if you're a supplier, how to market to planners during this craziness. And then we'll have a break with more fun. That's secret. And then the body session is Liz. Do you want to talk about what you're talking about?
We are talking about how to deal with the uncertainty fatigue and the stress that is caused by all the uncertainty that we're dealing with right now. I have some very down-to-earth, quickly implementable strategies to feel better and work better under all of this stress.
Perfect timing. Did you coin that, uncertainty fatigue? Because I love that.
I did. I would love to, I was too late to put the little TM on the end of it, right?
No, it's not. I would get that on there.
We'll edit it in right at the bottom, right now.
Yes.
Right.
And then the being session is Kim Becking. She's going to be talking about resilience and really grabbing hold of every minute to make it as valuable as you can with the resources that you have. And then we're ending it out with, well, of course, more fun. And then our closing session is on business, and that's Mimi Brown talking about also selling and really selling as an entrepreneur or as a business owner. And after that, we've got the virtual escape room. So it's going to be, it's on a brand new platform.
That is 4 really dynamic and powerful speakers. I know all 4 of you. And so that's going to make a great day. So I'm just going to tell everybody right now, if you're connected at all to the meetings business, October 13th, block your day because of MiniCon.
And if you're a grandmother of someone
and your grandmother, that's right. So let's talk about SpinCon, the virtual edition that's coming up the first part of December, because that's your signature event. So what are you going to do? Why should people be planning now to sign up and join that participation?
I don't know what we're going to be doing because a lot of this is going to be crowdsourced. So if you are a planner with 10 years of experience or more, join the Spin group if you want some impact and influence on what those things will be. But we know that there are going to be throwbacks to each of the previous 9 years of live Spin events, and we're going to be remembering and recreating the best moments from every single SpinCon and the best fun and the best learning and showcasing just what a great 10 years that it's been.
So does this mean if I was to introduce you, you would fall again? Because I was the MC for SpinCon 2 years ago, kicked the whole thing off, did the whole opening thing, talking to everybody about how to network, how to make SpinCon awesome. People are cheering. They're doing what they do at SpinCon. You know, they have balloons. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And I said, and now your founder and one of my dear friends, Shauna. And what happened?
I don't know. I was walking up the stairs and somehow this gigantic gust of wind, I think, somehow inside.
In the ballroom. Yeah.
Threw me off the stairs onto the floor.
I got to tell you, we're joking about this, but I've emceed a lot of events. I've never been so scared and simultaneously have every, brain cell firing saying, okay, if she doesn't get up, what do I have to do? Because we've got 300 people in the room. We need to pull the attention away if she's really hurt. Now you bounced right.
Pay no attention to the woman on the floor.
It was both scared for you as my friend because it looked like you got hurt.
I did.
By the fact of how do you handle that? in that moment. So I assume when we introduce you, you're just going to fall down.
Yeah, just going forward, just assume the worst with me because I'm such a klutz. But I
Now, the
did
good
get
news
hurt,
is you
but
had
I
a
got
bruise.
back up.
You
Go
had
ahead.
a bruise, but you were okay. The
I
show
had a
did go on.
huge bruise on my thigh. I don't even know what I hit going down, but as a speaker and the kickoff speaker, I had to get up and go on with the show. As any planner knows, you can't just go to the hospital. Not that I was that hurt. I wasn't that hurt, but yeah, that I still have. Somebody snapped a picture of you at that exact moment, and your facial expression was just a million. Yeah, I'm like, and you're like, just the care in your face and concern for me as a friend, followed by, oh crap, what do I do now? Was all just caught beautifully in that picture. But yeah, so we are not going to, well, maybe we will relive that one. That would be fun, but I'll have to put this on the floor. But yeah, so if you think about for any of the SpinCons that you've been to, now you guys, was it, I don't even know, 4 or 5 years ago that you were the MCs in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, for the broadcast. That's right.
Yes, you did the hybrid. You pulled our speakers in and interviewed them for the audience at home. You guys were really pioneers of the virtual MC thing, whereas even still today, a lot of virtual meetings, they just take live, plop it up on virtual without an MC, or they get somebody from their company who doesn't really know what you guys have learned over these past years of doing hybrid virtual MCing. And yeah, it doesn't go well. So that's why you two have been arm twisted into being our virtual MCs at SpinCon. Thank you for agreeing to that.
I'm excited. I mean, I've been at SpinCon twice. Once when we did the hybrid online MC, and then once I MC'd in the ballroom. And I'm looking forward to being with that audience because it really is a dedicated group of people to our big, infrastructure of the meetings world.
Yeah, yeah, and it's got such a human element, which I love. That really, it attracts a lot of people. I think it feeds a lot of people so that they can then go back to whatever stresses, whatever worries, whatever meetings, whatever, family, home, COVID, financial, whatever issues they're facing at home. I think they just feel a little bit more resilient and more prepared to face that because we, as you all know, I mean, it is such a stressful industry that we get very depleted. And as a speaker now, we still as speakers get depleted, but not nearly as much as planners do. They're doing it all, and somebody needs to fill up their cup because they're so busy filling everyone else's throughout the year. And so I really love that this event, and I cannot take most of the credit is to other people. I just show up half the time and fall off the stage for laughs, which some people thought that was staged. Can you believe that, Tom?
No.
Must have done it really well.
Well, I did. Yeah, I made it look
if you're gonna fall off a stage, do it the way Shauna did it.
I made it look really accidental and unplanned. But yeah, so I'm very grateful for the event myself. And last year, for the first time, I missed most of it. I was able to show up on the second night and only catch the last half day, but I made it a point to be there, even though we had a death in the family, because I needed that, especially then. I needed that energy. I needed that support, that care, that love, that all of that I was surrounded by. So yeah, you can come to SpinCon in any shape, in any condition, virtually. If you are feeling like crap and you're feeling beaten down by everything that's been going on in the world, please come. You don't have to be on camera if you just can't even muster being on camera. We just want you there so you can absorb, you can contribute what energy you want, and you can absorb the rest.
And where do people go to sign up for SpinCon, December 1st through 3rd?
Well, sign up isn't open yet, but they can go to spinplanners.com to sign up for MiniCon, and then go to the SpinCon page to sign up to be notified as soon as those virtual registration doors open.
So Shauna, I want to shift gears here a little bit because because you've got your foot in both boat, as we talked about. You know a lot. You know a lot about what's going on in this live meetings industry.
Mhm.
So what are some things that you're seeing? What are your predictions for 2021?
I have always been not a cup half full, but a cup overflowing kind of gal. And this has been challenging for me as a ridiculous optimist, but I'm still optimistic. I know that some live meetings are starting to come back, as the one I'm speaking at tomorrow. It's going to be weird, but they're going to slowly come back. Uh, as people's comfort zones increase, and certainly the vaccine is the magic bullet that we all need. But small, regional, well handled meetings that are respecting all of the COVID rules for social distancing and mask wearing and stuff. I think, especially if they can be held outdoors or partially outdoors, I think that those are the ones that we're seeing coming back right now.
Mhm.
And it's going to be slow, but um, just like, we never thought the Great Recession would end, and we never thought that the horrible events after 9/11 that decimated our industry would ever stop. This will come to an end. It's going to be gradual, like most recoveries are, but we always come back.
What
We
do you
always
think?
do.
What do you think the long tail impact is going to be? One of the things that Eliz and I talk a lot about is the idea that hybrid meetings that 6 years ago we thought were going to be very popular. Hybrid meetings are here to stay. What are some other things you think are going to be kind of part of this long tail change?
I think finally hybrid meetings are going to be a thing. I also think working from home for many, many companies is going to become a thing, because these supervisors and leaders finally trust their employees to actually work from home. And even amidst chaos, those good employees manage to get their work done. And so I think we're going to see that change consumer behavior. We're going to see it change sales behavior. You can't just say, hey, I want to show up at your office because, yeah, I work at home in my bunny slippers now, and that's weird. So it's going to change the face of a lot of not only our industry dynamics, but all industry dynamics, I think. And but hybrid absolutely finally is going to be here
Yay!
to stay. So I applaud you guys for being early adopters of this. You were ahead of your time before a lot of people thought it was really a necessary thing. It's a necessary thing even after live meetings come back. I don't think you can go back to being 100% live, because people, if you want your audience to really be as large as it was before, you're going to have to do hybrid.
I agree, or even larger. And
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
are telling us is that they're getting larger audiences because they are allowing people to attend from home.
Yes.
So not surprisingly, Spin and Chamasuko ahead of the curve. Ahead of the curve on a lot of things. You're testing out a brand new event platform for Spin MiniCon.
We are.
Our theme for our second season here on the Webinar Talk Show is don't cancel your event. If you had something planned in person, don't cancel it. Move it over. Let's do it virtually. Let's do it hybrid, however you need to do it. So as you go forward, you're doing all of these, like having a mini SpinCon, trying out a new platform. What advice do you have for someone who is sitting, trying to figure out how they're going to move something that was planned in person into the virtual world?
Well, the first thing I say is don't wait. Don't put it off. Don't wait for live to return. Your people need it. They need the connection. They need the human interaction. They need the support. They need the face-to-face. Make sure that your meeting includes conversation and human interaction, not just a talking at people. Oh my gosh, that's the worst, isn't it? And make sure that you take risks, because it is not just moving something live and making it virtual. And the thing about taking risks right now is your audience has never been more forgiving. I don't care who
Absolutely.
they are. They've
I
never been
full-
more forgiving.
I fully agree with that. And I think the other thing that you mentioned that I want to just sort of, tack in a little deeper is you can't have the same agenda that you had in a live ballroom. People are used to a talking head over PowerPoint for an hour, and they're sort of captive if they're sitting in the middle of a row, unless they really don't like it. Then oftentimes people will vote with their feet. But oftentimes we're in the room, social norms, we just stick through it. In this virtual world, if you go too long, or if it's a talking head over PowerPoint, people will just turn off their camera and they'll literally go to their own refrigerator and they'll like come back when you're done.
Oh, so too much to the refrigerator. One of the things that we're doing at MiniCon that we're going to showcase is an interesting way to break up even a 40-minute session and integrate your sponsors into the material, into the feel of it. It's going to be a surprise, but we're showcasing how to do that in a fun way rather than your sponsors, as always, almost always in a live meeting, they're over here, they get announced, they get thanked, and then the meeting starts. I don't believe in that. I never have for live. I certainly don't believe it for virtual. So we're going to showcase some cool things. So I encourage everybody to register because it's free. So why not?
Why not indeed? So we were right. Shauna is the perfect person to help us kick off the second season of the webinar.
I'm so honored.
You might have to come back. You might have to come back every season.
That's okay with me.
I like that. Yeah, I like that idea a great deal. So if somebody was thinking, oh my gosh, I need to talk to Shauna, how would they find you?
Well, they can go to shaunasuko.com is the easiest way. They can certainly connect with me on LinkedIn. They can find me on Facebook. They can go to Spin Planners. My information is there. It's everywhere. I'm easily findable.
Awesome. Well, Shauna, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for everything that you do to help everybody in this meetings industry, because it's certainly 2020 has been a tough year.
Yeah, I say 2019, or hindsight is 2019 now, is my new saying. I just came up with it this morning. 2020, nobody wants to look back.
Talk about needing to put a little TM by it. That's awesome.
I'm going to do that as soon as we hang up. I'm going to get the hashtag. I'm going to get the hashtag. I'm going to get the domain. Yeah.
Awesome.
I really like that a lot. Well, thank you so much, Shauna, for joining us. And find us at webinartalkshow.com. And we'd love it if you liked us on Facebook at Webinar Talk Show. We're going to be back on Wednesday at 11 o'clock Central Time to talk about what's happening in the world of corporate training.
That's going to be a good one.
Good deal.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see you next time at the Webinar Talk Show.
Mwah.